To other news now, Alligator Pond, Manchester, like no one's seen it in years. The beach has returned almost as quickly as it disappeared, but the authorities do not know how long it will remain, so they're taking steps to mitigate against further erosion in the area. Krista Campbell has this primetime news follow-up.
Walking, riding, and playing on the beach in Alligator Pond, Manchester. Those activities were not possible up to 2 years ago.
The beach was out there about 50 feet now, but roughly about 25 now, 25 to 30. So that means it's, and it didn't right up here, so it improved.
When the erosion was at its worst, how much feet you had?
We don't have no feet at all. We have the water, pure water. We don't have no beach.
The devastating beach erosion started after the passage of Hurricane Ivan in 2004 and threatened businesses, homes, and lives in Alligator Pond.
The water used to come all inside of the shop too. Used to come over and come in the shop, wash come in. So that we have to build a wall to stop it.
But now,
it's stone we used to do that, and still did it, but they handle the sand now. So more sand come, so we have less water and more sand.
a walk along the fishing beach here in Alligator Pond, Manchester, past boats which over 3 years ago had to be docked way inland because of the worsening coastal erosion. But these are better days and business operators are hopeful. Oswald Powell says customers were afraid of going to the seafood restaurants along the beach when the sea was eating away at the steps of the establishments. But the people are now returning and...
Some tourists come from a month ago when they come up here, and when they cook the fish and game, they say, no way in the world it's seafood nice like when they come here.
But how did the beach return so quickly after it disappeared? Director of Environmental Management and Conservation at the National Environment and Planning Agency, NEPA, Anthony Mackenzie, says it's a natural process that all beaches go through over time as a result of wave action and changing weather. However, sea level rise and more devastating hurricanes as a result of climate change have worsened coastal erosion across the island.
Because there was a change in the wave climate, it brought the sand onto the beach. So whether or not it is temporary, we'll have to see.
Building structures on sand dunes, which act as a bank that replenishes the beach, also adds to erosion. But Mr. Mackenzie explained that several solutions are being pursued to prevent further erosion at Alligator Pond. They include hard engineering structures like a wave attenuation device.
For example, if you've gone to the Harmony Cove Beach in Montego Bay, you'll notice that there's a rock revetment that goes out into the sea that protects the coastline. And if you've gone to some hotel properties, you'd have seen a structure offshore it's a rock sort of revetment made up of boulders, and that's called a breakwater. So that breaks the waves before it comes into and onto the beach.
Other measures include better protection of small coral reef systems and mangroves, which all act as natural barriers that break down the impact of storm waves. As for the houses and commercial structures built on the sand dunes on the eastern side of Alligator Pond, Mr. Mackenzie notes that some of the land have formal titles from a time when much importance was not placed on protecting the environment.
In other places, people have done informal settlement on the dunes. So that has to be looked at on how we can, as we call it, retreat from the dunes over time.
Krista Campbell, TVJ News.